turn it up again if I do my initial. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Museum of Glass. Today we have our resident team of glass blowers working, and we're going to be making these goblets that you see on the pedestal. Each year we make a limited edition goblet for our annual fundraiser. We make a goblet and a matching decanter. We'll make 50 of the goblets, 35 of the decanters, and we'll never make that design again. So can we put up some of the older designs? So if you look up on the big screen, these are some of the designs from the past years. So they're designed by our Museum of Glass Hot Shop team, and they're made by our Museum of Glass Hot Shop team. So just to get you started, I'm going to give you just a very brief introduction to how glass blowing works. Everything that we do here starts out in our glass furnaces. The glass furnaces are the machines where you see the doors closed. There's two of them, one on each side of the studio. Can we put up the glass furnace diagram? So you look up on the big screen, that's what the furnaces look like inside. So in each of the furnaces is a big ceramic pot. In that ceramic pot is 1,000 pounds of melted glass. We keep the melted glass at 2,100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 1150 Celsius. And at that temperature, the glass has the consistency of honey. So if you can imagine a giant crock pot full of honey, that's what our furnace is like. When we want to get the glass out to make stuff, we take one of these steel pipes, those are called blow pipes, and we dip them into the melted glass like you're dipping into a big jar of honey. We dip it in, twirl it around, a little bit of glass sticks to the end of the pipe. The pipe itself is hollow, so when you blow, the ball of glass blows up like a balloon. If you want to make something larger, we dip it in, blow a bubble, let it harden, and then we dip it in a second time or a third time. We just keep building up the glass in layers. Once you get the glass out of the furnace, it only stays soft for a little while. So we do whatever shaping we can while it's really hot and soft. And when it starts to cool and stiffen, we go to the second type of furnace, and those are called glory holes. Glory holes are the round furnaces with the doors open. We have a little diagram up on the screen. So there's no glass in those, and that's just a hot chamber for heating and softening the glass while we're working. So when we make these goblets that we're making today, we make them in parts. So this morning, we made a bunch of these seahorses, and we made a bunch of these goblet bowls. We put them in this oven over here to keep them warm. This oven is called the garage. It operates at about half the temperature of the furnaces. It's hot enough to keep the glass from breaking, but it's not hot enough to make it soft. So whatever goes into the garage stays warm, holds its shape. When we're ready to use it, we just heat it up a little extra. So right now they're making a goblet bowl. The bowl is the part that you drink out of. Does anybody have any questions so far? Yes. No. No. The garage, it's too cold to make the glass soft enough to stick to anything. So it has to be, it's just to keep something. So if we make a seahorse, we put it in there, and it just stays warm and it holds its shape. We have to heat it up more to attach it to something. Yes. Yes.
So looks like you're making the seahorse right now too. So like, how much time do you usually spend making the seahorse itself? Like 5 minutes?
No, I would say I actually never timed it. I would say maybe 15 minutes to make the seahorse. 15 minutes and 25 years. 25 years to learn how to do it, and 15 minutes to actually do it. The man leading our team today in the kind of olive green shirt, that's Ben Cobb. He's the head of our glass shop here. He's been blowing glass for over 30 years. So you can see when he sits down, he's only sitting down and shaping it for a minute or two at the most. And then he's got to go back and heat it up again. If you think about the glass like wax, when you get wax hot, it gets soft, but fairly quickly it gets stiff again. Glass is the same way. He's widening the opening on that bowl so you can drink out of it. We just take that tool and press against the inside of that opening. The glass is soft. It makes the opening wide. Over to the right, the man in overalls is Nick Davis. He's our technician, and what he's doing is called charging the furnace. Those paper bags that he's throwing into the furnace have all the raw ingredients that make up the glass. And so we feed it in a little bit at a time. Obviously, the paper bags burn up. So it's not glass when we throws it in there, it's all the separate chemicals. There's three main ingredients in the glass: sand, soda ash, and lime. Sand is the bulk of it. It's mostly melted sand. Soda ash is sodium carbonate. It's a chemical which acts as a flux and lowers the melting temperature of the sand. And the lime is calcium carbonate, and that stabilizes the mixture chemically. So we'll throw it into the furnace, cook it overnight. In the morning, we'll have a tank full of glass. The glass that we use here is a little different than the glass that you'd find in a bottle. The glass in a bottle is formulated to harden very quickly, so a machine can make 100 bottles in an hour. Our glass is formulated to harden slowly, so we can shape it by hand. This bowl is done. We're going to take it off the metal rod and place it in the garage, where it'll be kept warm until we're ready to assemble the goblets. I talked to a pain specialist. He said that when you repeatedly expose yourself to a lot of heat, it kills some of the heat receptors in your skin, and so you don't feel it as much.
That's amazing.
It's a lot. There's a lot of professions like some chefs or bakers can handle a hot plate where a normal person wouldn't. So when you're exposed to heat over and over again, you sort of gain immunity to it. It's a good winter sport. It's not such a good summer sport. It can get pretty nasty in here. It's not bad. So you'll notice that one of the glass blowers is seated to the left of the workbench. He's the person that's going to do the blowing. He's going to blow through that steel tube while the man sitting at the bench shapes it. This arrangement where one person blows and the other one shapes it is very typical of the Venetian style of glass blowing. Starting in 1979, a number of Venetian masters came here to the Northwest and began teaching the young Americans how to blow glass. So the way we blow glass here is very similar to the way they blow glass in Venice because we learned from Venetian masters. So you can see Gabe, the man sitting to the left, is blowing, as Ben sitting at the bench shapes it. Do you guys have any questions? Working with glass is very similar to working on a pottery wheel or working on a wood lathe. The work spins, and we hold the tools against it as it spins to shape. Yes. How often do we shut down the furnaces? Maybe once every 7 years. There's two types of furnaces. There's the glass furnaces and the glory holes. The glass furnaces would contain the tanks of molten glass. They are on 24/7 till they wear out. The glory holes have no glass in them. Those, we turn them on an hour before we work, and we shut them at 5 when we quit. Natural gas, yes. Both the glory holes and the furnaces run on natural gas. Yeah.
The gentleman that's putting the actual glass in the furnace, how long is he just going off a feel of how long he has to put it back in to cool it down, or is he looking for something, or is it just the experience?
It's mostly experience. You can get a little feedback through the pipe because you have to turn it faster and faster to keep it on center. And you watch the motion in the glory hole. You can see it starts to flop around when it gets soft. But,
And I kind of heard someone else ask the question. The rod is pretty hot, but you get used to it after working with it for a while. Like if I tried to touch the rod, is it
no.
really hot?
Well, it's hot. If you look at the rod when he comes out, you'll see it's shiny up into a point, and then it starts to be dull. The part that's dull is too hot to hold. These don't get as hot as common sense would lead you to believe. People think about their own homes. They think about a frying pan on the stove, and the handle starts to get hot. That handle is like 9 or 10 inches long. These are 4.5 feet long, so there's a lot more surface area to dissipate the heat. Plus, once the end of the pipe is covered in glass, glass is an insulator, and so they're no longer exposed to the direct heat of the furnace. So they don't get as hot as common sense would lead you to believe. If they do get hot and uncomfortable, we have this gadget over here. It's called the pipe cooler. We just lay the pipe in the trough and step on the foot pedal and spray water on it, and that'll cool them down. The only time the pipes really get hot is when we reach into the furnace to get the molten glass hot. When we're working back and forth, they don't really get very hot at all. Yeah.
So if they were to suck air out instead of blowing, is it never hot enough to hurt them on the other end? Or?
If we suck air, is it going to hurt you? No. The answer is no. By the time the air reaches the opposite end of the pipe, it's not even warm. There are several techniques where we do suck in purposely, but that's just an old joke people tell. Don't suck in, but it doesn't. We do suck in, and we do it, on purpose for several different techniques. Yes.
You mentioned that there are 3 different components in the molten glass, right?
3 main components. Yes.
Is there like a golden ratio that you guys have?
Well, if you use different proportions, you get different results. So, if you use a lot of the soda ash is what softens it. So if you use a lot of sand and a little bit of soda ash, then the glass is very stiff and it hardens very quickly. If you use a lot of soda and very little sand, then it stays soft for longer. So
So you have 3 furnaces over there. Do you have like a pot with like a lot of soda ash and then a pot with
no, we buy what's called batch, BATCH, and it's basically like a cake mix. It's got all the things all proportioned out. That's what's in those bags that he was throwing in there. So it's all formulated, pre-formulated. We just throw it in and cook it. This glass that we use, it's called spruce pine batch, and it's specially formulated for this type of hand blowing. Make glass? Well, they use three chemicals. We got sand. You know what sand is, right? Then we put in soda ash, and that makes the sand easier to melt. And then lime, which holds the whole thing together. We throw those three ingredients into the furnace and cook it overnight, and they all melt together and make glass. So sand, soda ash, and lime.
Where do you get the different pigments to make different colors of glass?
We don't. We buy colored glass from two companies in Germany, and they deal with all the chemicals.
Well, the speakers are here, so they have stuff to listen to while they work.
Oh yeah, we buy them at the store.
Speakers come from the store.
We don't make our own speakers. But do you know about our contest for kids? Any kid 12 or younger can do a drawing. Once a month, we pick one of the drawings and we make whatever the kid drew out of glass. We make two copies, one for the kid to take home and one for the museum collection. It's a contest and it's free to enter. There's a table out in the lobby with drawing materials and entry forms. So you're welcome to have at it. If we pick yours, we'll call you up. You can bring the whole family down, and we'll make it right in front of you.
Should we enter the contest before we leave? Yeah, you can do a drawing.
So the colors that you see while we're working are distorted by the heat. The glass that Ben has at the end of that pole, that's clear glass. The orange color that you're seeing is the glow from the heat, not the color of the glass. So Ben's going to stretch that bubble out a little bit. And Gabe, sitting to the left, is blowing. And he blows into that pipe as Ben shapes it. You can see the bubble getting bigger.
How you doing?
Hey, good guy, brother. Nice to see you.
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Special. I got my eyes fixed. That was good.
Hey, that's good. What'd you have done?
Cataracts.
Oh, okay. Are you seeing better?
Way better. Seems like I was 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't need glasses.
Well, great. Congratulations. That's so good.
Yep. No, that's a big change.
Well, good. Oh, I'm happy for you. Are things going good?
Yeah. They were all right. I mean, nothing too exciting. I've been giving some lectures here.
Okay. That's good. How'd your big show go?
Good. I mean, you mean the show with Dick or the show that I had here?
Both of them.
The show with Dick was great. I enjoyed it. We only sold one thing.
Bummer.
We had like 80 pieces.
Okay.
We showed, we had glass painting and we had printmaking. So it was, they, put it up in the shack and did a really nice job.
Yeah.
They laid it out. was up for a year.
Yeah.
Sharp drawing.
Yeah.
So that was good. That went really good. A lot of I was a little nervous that people would not relate to it because it wasn't glass.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't. We've had a lot of people coming in here and telling me they liked it, which is unusual for this place.
Yeah, yeah.
Not many people who come in want to talk about the glass blowing, but they The next thing we're going to do is transfer that bubble from the rod it was originally blown on to a second steel rod called the punty. The second steel rod will hold it from the bottom while we shape the top.
The things out there on display.
Yes.
How do you do that?
How do you do that? If you wait a couple of minutes, my AV guy stepped out for a moment, but we have a little short video show you how these things are made. Yeah, no, he's good.
All that stuff is amazing. How long have you been doing it? That's all? Pretty good, I'm sure.
So we're going to blow some air into the front end of that bubble to make it rounder and fuller. This bowl is pretty much done. We're going to take it off the metal rod and we're going to place it in this silver oven with the curved side. This is called the garage. We call it the garage because that's where we park stuff until we're ready to use it. The garage operates at about half the temperature of the furnaces. It's hot enough to keep the glass from breaking, but it's not hot enough to make the glass soft. So whatever goes in the garage stays warm, holds its shape. When we're ready to use it, we'll pull it up, heat it up a little extra. Contemporary art glass, we exhibit historical glass, all sorts of things, like a museum. Can we play the pony video? We're going to make one right in front of you. This is all in real time. Minute and 30 seconds. Nope. That's Nick, the guy who is out here in the overalls. Nick Davis.
It's funny that he's doing all this, so like as fast as you said, it only takes, but I don't have to heating it at all.
No, you can't reheat it because the legs are too skinny.
Yeah.
They'll,
He'll melt it.
yep. So you have to get it all in one shot.
So yeah,
It's amazing how this all.
That's it. That's all in real time.
Now, I understand glass is made out of sand.
Yep, yep.
So do you have a big sand pile or something around here? Or you always
There's three main components in glass: sand, soda ash, and lime. Lime like in your garden, not lime like in your drink. And so, yeah, we get it pre-mixed in these 25-pound bags, and then we just throw it into the furnace and cook it, and then it becomes glass.
They have that process going on. They're actually doing their thing, not just to display. You actually get that
Well, that's what we're doing right now.
doing that. They're creating.
The whiter the sand is, the clearer the glass will be. You could, yes. You could, yes. You could. Well, if you went out to your average beach and you do the shovel in a pail and got that sand, you could make glass out of that, no problem. The only thing is the glass would have a slightly green tint to it, like an old Coke bottle. That's from the iron content of most sand. If you use really white sand, then it doesn't have the iron in it, and it doesn't have any tint.
That's the only difference of one here is what you're asking. If anybody has a question, you give them information, take you through, and they don't really talk too much about everything. Long, dragged out color.
Mostly from metals dissolved in the glass when you first cook it up. Cobalt makes glass blue, chromium makes it green, tin makes it white, a little bit of gold.
These colors,
Nope,
you're going to combine them in one
nope,
design.
nope,
Apart.
nope. Let me explain it. What? No, we buy our colored glass from two companies in Germany. They have like 200 different colors, and we just buy it. We don't cook it up here.
Put it into that design. They melt it, put it in the design.
Well, we apply it. I have a little video. I can show you how that's done. Could we play color overlay?
The color in glass comes from adding various materials to the mixture of raw ingredients called batch. Most of the colorants are compounds containing some kind of metal. For example, adding cobalt to clear glass creates a deep blue. Tin and antimony can be used to create white glass, and gold chloride can produce a rich red or pink colored glass. Colored glass is melted in furnaces, just like clear glass, and then is usually rolled into bars for storage and easy application. In order to apply color bar to a bubble, we first need to preheat the color to approximately 950 or 1000 degrees Fahrenheit in a color oven or garage. Once warm, the color is then picked up on the end of a punty rod using a little bit of clear glass as a support. The color is then heated in the 2300 degree glory hole to soften it and make it malleable, while another artist creates a small bubble of clear glass on a blowpipe. Once warm, the color is dropped over the clear bubble, and then using a variety of hand tools or the steel marver, the color is rolled back over the clear in an even layer. This process is called dropping color, or creating a color overlay. Depending on the project, that bubble is then usually gathered over with clear glass and blown into the final form. The finished product may appear to be all made from colored glass, but when viewed in cross-section, we can see that there is only a thin layer of color sandwiched between many layers of clear glass.
Can we put up the baking soda drawing? It may take them a minute to find it. So if you look up in the big screen, we have a little diagram. So we take the bubble when it's hot, and we immerse it very quickly in a solution of baking soda and water. And the water evaporates and leaves a coating of baking soda on the outside of the glass. And then when we dip it back into the molten glass, the baking soda gases up and forms the bubbles.
Is that, what's the most difficult part when you're blowing glass? Is it color, is it bubbles, or is it
Making money. Making money.
making money?
That's the most difficult part of glass blowing. Just baking soda and water, that's what we use to make the bubbles.
I wonder, I have to tell Lynn about that.
Are these relatively easy to make also?
Yeah, it's not very hard. Yeah, you need enough glass to make them. I think they're lighting fixtures for someone.
I think,
What do they weigh?
I don't know.
I think just making designs.
Oh, look, we have
50 pounds,
Yeah.
10 pounds?
maybe 15, 18 pounds.
Would a bowling ball made of glass be okay with scatter?
Very heavy. Glass weighs 2.5 times as much as water. So,
Yeah, water weight.
glass would weigh 20. furnace has the molten glass in it is 21.
I was told that when they're doing it, the artists that do this, they adapt to the heat. Because, you know, when we first went into it, it was like no air conditioning, and you're like, you know, and it's like, ugh, worse like, can you imagine what they must feel like down there? But they actually adapt to it. Terrible, yeah. Any kind of labor. But the heat, no.
We have three bedrooms. We don't use, you know, we don't use the ones that we use. Yeah, no, not really. This is basically the same workstation. Sometimes we'll redo that's the
Where
bowl.
does that go from there? Does it go into the store to hopefully, like you said, make money?
Oh, these goblets that we're making are a special limited edition that we're going to sell at our annual fundraising dinner. So these are not going to go in the store.
So it's like a combination of the seahorse and corn.
And a what? Corn?
Seahorse.
Oh, yeah, the texture. Yeah, it does look like corn.
Is that a little more difficult to make it? Seahorse, it's harder to make it regular.
That's exactly. Yeah.
What's one name, by the way? Walt. Walt, Gary, different.
What do you find the difference between a goblet between China?
China?
China
Dishware?
glass. Yeah.
China glass?
Well, when you buy goblet, okay, it's some glass, but then you also China, right?
You mean like dishware?
Yeah, like there's a China glass you drink wine. You know, when you buy, you purchase China,
Yes, that's ceramic. It's not glass.
even though it's like that, but
That's not China.
what is it?
China is a ceramic. Is a name for ceramic.
And what is the name for what is all the China gilt? All these little things.
That's just glass. It's not China.
So nobody ever owns any China that
China's only ceramic. You're in the wrong department. China's made out of clay. We call it China because the Chinese invented porcelain, and they didn't have it in Europe, so they thought of it as Chinese.
by, well, okay, maybe I'm not, maybe China. Crystal, that's what I mean.
Crystal's a glass that has between 25 and 35% lead. And the lead makes the glass denser, so it bends light a little more, so it's a little more sparkly. Now that's a retail thing.
Well, yeah, and how it's
It's advertising. There's no inherent.
glass. Beautiful goblet. Like, I don't think I want to buy crystal.
But there's no
More
particular,
expensive.
yes, there's no particular value. It's a retail fancy.
Matter who's what.
No, no, no. Well,
makes it.
there's some things that with a real value, and then there's some things which is created value, like PR. And there's no real value in crystal, only that just the retailers have pumped it up.
And the demand that people choose this over that. You know what I'm saying? This is,
Okay,
they want
I
that.
give up. You win.
Yeah, well, I mean, you pick a Mercedes or you pick a Volkswagen. I'm going to pick the Mercedes. A lot of things factor in. Can you afford it? But everybody thinks, oh my gosh, they're rich. You have a Mercedes. Hey, but that's just the way people are. Well, that's the whole program.
Getting quite a steady ground of people coming in all day.
Yeah, it's been a little bit slack since our galleries are being renovated, but
We're out of state. We didn't know that because we're here.
yeah, we generally get a good crowd.
You got a lot of seating. You ever have them all full?
Oh yeah.
Is there certain times where you have the kids are in doing it?
Yeah, we have a lot of school field trips here. But that's obviously in the fall and the spring, not in the summer. Yeah, we're in here 5 days a week. As long as the museum is open, we're in here making glass.
They don't have any experience whatsoever. They just are interested in doing it.
No, I keep talking about kids. In
I'm
school,
talking about
they-
the kid. Yeah, I know that. I'm not saying that there's no like picking the kids. If they're interested, you will have the school that they can
No,
be a part of.
no, we don't have a school.
The kid, well, they do a reading about 12 and under.
12 years.
Oh, that's for the drawings.
Yeah,
That's for
Yeah,
drawing.
they design those art pieces.
they do this.
Yeah, that's a contest for the kids.
Yeah, do they make those?
No,
They pick the design and somebody.
they pick, no, they do the drawings. We pick the drawing we like, and then we make it.
Then you,
Yes.
I like that one. The green man up there as the horse. That's pretty cool. And then the tree.
No, the kids don't. They don't know how to blow glass. They can't make it. So they do the drawings, and we pick one drawing each month, and then we make it.
I may see something.
Do they go into the shop and buy purchase, or the kid get that?
Now you can choose and put them on display and pick.
Well, we make two of each, one for the kid to take home and one that the museum keeps. So the ones you see out in the lobby, those are our,
Their designs to take home. You have one of those.
yes. So those are our, we make one for the museum, that's what you see out there, and then the kids have one themselves at home. Yeah.
They had some pretty cool designs. these kids, man.
Oh, they do. They make some cool stuff.
It's a snake going up the pole.
And then the Sunday bus.
What?
There was one up there called the Sunday bus.
Okay, I didn't see
and it
that
had
one.
three
but yeah.
little like scoops of ice cream. and
Oh, yeah,
eyeballs,
yeah.
And
Didn't
then
know
a
the
banana
name.
boat. And,
Yep. Yeah, no, the kids do some
Creative
great
minds.
drawings.
you've been doing this very long?
I've been working with glass, being a tour guide or being a glassmaker.
Both.
Glassmaker for about 50 years,
50.
and being a tour guide for about 50.
So you started when you were 16, 20?
No, I'm 72.
I'm 74. So you started
Yeah.
when you were 22.
Yeah, around then, yeah.
Yeah.
Still, you don't do it anymore. You still do it.
Nope.
Did you go to college for it or just
I did.
learn it?
I did.
Oh, you did.
Went to college for it.
Everybody transplanted to the East Coast with it.
Yeah, I grew up.
I lived in Pennsylvania.
So now we're making the foot for the goblet. We drop a bubble on and cut it off in a diamond shape. And now we're going to cut that teardrop shape in half. And we're going to bust off the pointy part. So we're going to, now we have a little hollow sphere. Hi, yes. The glass, we get it from a company in North Carolina, and we don't get glass. We get all the ingredients that make the glass. So when we get it, it's not glass yet. It's sand, soda ash, and lime. And we throw it in the furnace, and then we cook it, and after we cook it, it becomes glass. You guys have any questions? Oh, okay. Well, we're making these goblets that you see on the pedestal. You lost me. We have to cook it overnight. It kind of melts in a couple of hours, but then we have to continue to cook it so that all the bubbles rise to the surface and pop. So most of the cooking is just getting the bubbles out of the glass. Nope. We get a what's called batch. It's like a cake mix. It's got all the ingredients in it. We just shovel it in the furnace and cook it. They add things in when they make the batch. Arsenic takes bubbles out. So next thing we're going to do is transfer this foot from the rod it's on now to a second steel rod called the punty. Jack, in the white shirt, is preparing the punty. We'll attach the punty to the bottom, and then we'll break the glass away from the original pipe. So earlier this morning, we made a bunch of these seahorses and a bunch of bowls. They're sitting inside that silver oven with the curved side, and so now we're going to assemble the goblet. Hi, how are you guys? Do you guys have any questions? Okay, you tell me when you remember. Do you guys know about our contest for kids? Have you done your drawings? Yeah, little burns, not like you get in a kitchen, not uh, burns like that would send you to the doctor. Cool. Well, I wish you luck. So over on the left, Jack in the white T-shirt has our seahorse on a tray. Hot glass sticks to hot glass. And we're going to add the bowl. The bowl is the round part that you drink out of. Gabe's warming it up. Gabe is in the black shirt. Jack's going to come over with a little bit of molten glass. Ben is going to wind on the tiniest little dab, followed by Gabe with the bowl. We'll tap on the steel pipe to get, and now the goblet is assembled.
Have a little tool we use in it. I didn't see anything small or really other than that little point is somewhat flipper to make all those little indentations in it.
Oh, we use two things. Can we put up the optic mold drawing? So we first get a little solid piece of glass, and then we stuff it in what's called an optic mold. It's a cast metal mold with ribs on the inside, and that gives it the rib texture. And then we wind a thread of glass around that. We do what's called a roller wrap. Can we put up the roller wrap drawing? And so that's that little spiral thread that you see there.
About that, I just make a little indentation like that. Set it in and then
You just stuff it in there. No big deal.
it'd be a bigger deal if you didn't have any stuff.
Yeah.
You guys, you're gonna have to do it. That glass would have to remain hot enough that you can make it. So,
We don't have a problem keeping it hot. We got our
well, I mean, you know, you have to be really fast to get out all those little indentations in there without having that little cup, optic, little cup that you put it in. Is what I'm saying. You didn't have that option. Pretty cool though.
It's a pretty standard glass one.
If you know how to do it.
Yes.
Yeah. The whole thing, you know how to do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's neat.
So we're starting another goblet. Ben is making a small little spindle shape on the end of his pipe. That's called the avolio. That would be this little spot part right here. Then we're going to blow another bubble to make the foot. So Gabe, so little quality control there. Gabe's going to make that bubble again. Gabe's going to squeeze it down a little bit with the jacks. He's going to get that bubble really hot. And he's going to bring it to Ben sitting at the workbench. He's going to hold it up in the air and let it droop down. And we'll attach it. And then we'll cut it off in a big teardrop shape. Do you guys have any questions? Oh, these guys are really good. You're seeing world-class glass blowers. Gabe and Ben each have at least 30 years of glass blowing experience. Jack is probably 15. What's he? In his 20s. Must be 10 or 12 years. How long have you been blowing glass, Jack? How long have you been blowing glass?
Like 12 years.
12 years. Now Ben's going to spread out that bubble with the jacks, those metal tongs, and make a nice flat foot for the goblet to stand on. We're holding a wooden paddle across the bottom of the foot to make sure it's nice and flat, and it'll sit nicely on the table. Hi. Do you guys have any questions? Anything you'd like to know? Who am I? I'm Walt. Hi.
Specific kind of wood for the paddle.
wooden tools are made mostly from fruit woods. Yeah, well, cherry, pear, apple, because the wood of fruit trees is dense, so it burns slowly, and it's also it has very little resin in it, so it doesn't smoke.
Why then nice slice of metal? Why?
Because metal tools suck the heat out of the glass. The wood, the glass remains hot.
Did you ever use teak wood or anything like that?
No, I don't know. It usually, depends where you live, what kind of wood's available. Like in Washington State, we use a lot of cherry. I think in Germany they use pear. It depends where you
Maybe
live.
out
And
east
like
it would be.
Michigan has the cherry up
Teak,
the
I think only grows in Africa.
cherry.
Well, I didn't know if you ship it over to specifically use
So
teak
why
wood.
do that when you have
You
the
have
cherry
the
here?
green, yeah.
That
Yeah.
works just fine.
So any real hardwood would work.
Fruit wood is what he's saying is to be the best wood,
Yeah,
not just for the hardwood,
that's what we
but
usually use. I'm not saying that anything else is impossible.
Like a
Same.
ash or a walnut or.
yeah.
I don't know.
What did you say as far as the hardwood? There was something else about that particular fruit wood.
It's just that it's two things, that it's dense and it has very little resin.
Yeah,
Little
because
bit.
of that.
And it's local.
And slow.
Do you have to go through those, or does one last for 2 or 3 or
It
4
probably
years?
lasts 6 to 9 months.
Then it gets too thin.
Yeah, it burns away a bit.
Has to be a certain length.
No, we have all sorts of
Wow.
We have big ones, small ones.
Now, if the gentleman's doing that right now, if he was left-handed, would he be on the other side of that? The guy that's working right now, if he was left-handed, would he be doing it with his left
Most
hand?
left-handed people learn to use the right-hand benches. The only people, if a person is left-handed and has their own studio, they set it up left-handed. But if you're gonna, go around and use different shops, you need to learn how to use the right.
Why is that?
Because that's what most people are. That's the way
Because
most
it's
shops are set up.
majority are right. Okay.
So if you want to be flexible, you have to. Look, Gabe, the guy with the black hat, he's left-handed.
Oh, right. Now, is that an asbestos pad?
No, no asbestos in this shop at all.
No, and that's
Newspaper.
That's just newspaper right along the edge of his thigh,
Oh, you mean the bench?
black. Is
Oh,
that,
yeah. No, I
is that
think
a-
it's sheetrock.
that's a fire barrier?
Yeah, I think it's sheetrock.
Because it probably protects his legs.
Yeah.
Getting too.
you can have the best. So they put keto on this.
Those days are gone.
So you're here 8 hours a day?
What?
8 hours a day you're here?
Here? Yeah.
Well, you guys do amazing stuff.
How many have they got made so far?
I haven't counted them.
Count them yet?
Yes.
What gets turned off and what stays?
Okay, the glory hole, the furnace stays on, the two furnaces where the doors are, and then the glory holes, the round ones with the doors open, those get shut off at 5. And we put all the work that we make into these big black ovens. They're called annealers. They're electric ovens, and they have a little computerized thermostat that slowly turns the temperature down to room temperature. If we just made the stuff and put it on the table and walked away, it would cool too quickly and unevenly, and it would break. Oh, and then there's beer. So now the goblet's assembled. We'll heat it a couple more times. Make sure everything's on there nice and straight. Ben, the guy in the kind of olivey green shirt. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Take care. Thanks for coming in. So we're going to make another one of these goblets here. We've made the seahorses and the bowls. They're sitting in that silver oven over there. That's called the garage. That keeps them warm. And now we're going to make a foot. And then we'll stick a seahorse on top of that and a bowl on top of that. Do you guys have any questions?
I do the same thing but with metal. I'm a blacksmith.
Okay, good, good.
Pretty cool. Neat.
So we're making a little spindle-shaped part. That's going to be this part right here. And then we're going to add a bubble for the foot, add the seahorse, which we made earlier in the day, and then the bowl. We have three sort of basic types of furnaces. We have the glass furnaces, which contain the molten glass. Those are the ones with the doors closed. We have the glory holes. Those have no glass in them. They're just a hot chamber for heating and softening the glass. And then we have the garage, this silver oven with the curbside, and that's for keeping parts warm while we're working. So earlier this morning, we made a bunch of the seahorses. They're sitting in the garage. We'll make the foot of the goblet. Then we'll grab a seahorse, heat it up a little extra, stick it on. Grab a bowl, heat it up a little extra, stick it on. So we're going to squeeze that little pointy bubble, and we're going to bust off the pointy part, then stretch it out a little, chill it with the shears, and give it a tap, and off it comes. So that leaves us with a little hollow sphere with a hole in the end. We're going to spread that out to make the foot. Yes.
Make all the same pieces at once and then put them in the warming oven until you have all to make the goblet.
Yeah, we made a bunch of seahorses this morning, and we made a bunch of bowls because kind of towards lunch, and now we're pulling them out and sticking them together. So they're sitting in that silver oven with the curved side. It's just hot enough to keep them from breaking. So they're hard. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the longer they're in that oven, the softer the glass will be. You see the glass move. You're turning the pipe, and so you have to turn it as it gets softer and flops around more. You have to turn it faster to keep it on center, and that gives you a clue as to how hot it is. So we're going to transfer the foot from the rod it's on now to a second steel rod called the punty. Jack in the white T-shirt has the punty, P-U-N-T-Y. He brings it to Ben. Ben attaches it to the foot, and we'll break the foot off Ben's rod.
for a bit.
Oh, nice. Huh.
More so than I remember, I guess.
I wonder what's going on.
I don't know, it just seemed like really happy.
I mean, I think he's retired now, right? Isn't he?
Well, maybe. I didn't ask him that. Maybe that's why. But yeah, he was in a super good mood.
I mean, he's got like grandkids now.
His boat's like two right next to mine, so I see him all the time.
See the catch him
Yeah.
offers?
What's that?
See the catch him offers?
He's been doing all right. You know, we talked some.
So now Jack has brought over one of the seahorses. We'll stick it on. Hot glass sticks to hot glass. Yes. Several things. First of all, it's really long, so there's a lot of surface area compared to its mass, so there's a lot of places for the heat to escape. Also, once the end of the rod is covered in glass, glass is an insulator, so it's not exposed to the direct heat of the furnace. People usually associate it with like a frying pan on the stove and the handle gets hot. That handle's 9, 10 inches long. These are 4.5 feet long. So there's a lot more surface area to dissipate the heat.
How long would the seahorses take to make each?
Oh, I'd say 15 minutes and 25 years. 25 years to learn how to make it and 15 minutes to actually do it. We're going to add a little dollop of molten glass on top of the seahorse. Gabe's going to come over with the bowl, the part you drink out of. We'll give Gabe's rod a little tap to release it. We're just checking to see that everything's on there straight. And we'll take it off the metal rod and we'll place it in our annealing oven where it'll be cooled slowly overnight. So let's have a hand for the Museum of Glass Hot Shop team, Ben Cobb, Gabe Feenan, and Jack Spitzer. So Gabe, the man in the black hat, is sitting to the left of the workbench. He's the guy that's going to be blowing. He's going to blow through that steel tube, the blowpipe, and inflate the glass bubble as Ben, sitting at the bench, shapes it. So Gabe blows while Ben shapes it. Yep. Oh, the bunny is frit, F-R-I-T. It's just crushed colored glass. We took the clear glass from the furnace and rolled it in the crushed black glass and then put it in the fire and melted it off. Like an M&M.
So awesome. And then the piece that is like a boat.
That's cast. That's cast into a sand mold like they use in foundries.
Yeah.
So they made a positive, pressed it into the sand, it left a boat-shaped hole, and we poured molten glass in there. So next thing we're going to do is transfer the bowl from the rod it's on now, the blowpipe, to a second steel rod called the punty. We'll use this second steel rod to hold the goblet bowl from the bottom while we shape the top. So Gabe's coming over with the punty, Gabe in the black hat. We'll break the glass away from Ben's pipe. Ben is the man sitting down. So now that bubble is held from here. It's got a little hole in the top. We'll spread that out. It'll look like this.
Well, he did that
So we're going to widen that opening so we can drink out of it. These goblets that we're making today are a special limited edition goblet for our annual fundraising dinner, the Red Hot Gala. It's going to be September 19th. So we make a limited number of these, and they're only sold at that event. So the bowl is just about done. We're going to take it off the metal rod. We're going to place it in the garage. Yes, sir.
How do you get the colors in the glass, and how do you control it where it goes? Like for example,
For these, we got some clear glass out of the furnace, and then we rolled it in powdered colored glass. With a little, this is still out here. Yes. So this is crushed colored glass. This is crushed amber glass. So we just took the clear glass out of the furnace. We rolled it in that crushed glass, and then put it in the fire. The crushed glass melts onto the surface, and so it's got a coating on the outside like an M&M. Yep. Do you guys have any questions? We're going to stretch the bubble out a little bit. And then Gabe, seated to the left, will blow and inflate the glass as Ben, sitting at the bench, shapes it. Jack in the white shirt's coming over, brought a little molten glass to Ben, sitting at the bench. Ben's going to shape a little spindle-shaped part underneath the bowl, the goblet bowl, the part you drink out of. Hi, how are you guys? Good. You guys have any questions?
First time, so I'm just learning, just watching.
You know, we're making these goblets. So that's the bowl part. That's the part you drink out of. Well, it's pretty much the same size. No, no, those are lighting fixtures. That's something else. No, it's the goblets with the seahorses in the stem. We're going to stretch out the glass at the very top. The glass at the top of the bubble is often thick, so we stretch it out with the tweezers and then we trim some of it off. We like to have a nice thin lip on drinking glasses so they're comfortable to drink out. We're going to blow a little air into the front end, make that shape fuller and rounder. And we got a little hole there. We're going to make a little hole into a big hole. The tool in Ben's hand is called the jacks. Those big metal tongs. We press it against the inside of that opening. The glass is hot and soft, and spread it out. So we're almost done with the bowl. We'll take it off the metal rod, we'll place it in the garage, silver oven. And keep it warm till we're ready to assemble the cup.
Good place to get some studying in.
Better in the winter. It's getting a little warm in here.
Yeah, I stepped out to take a little break there for a second. Next time I come, I should just bring my hand fan and I'll be just fine.
We'll come in the winter and you'll be cozy.
Yeah, there you go. I'm a member, so I'm able to come pretty much any time, and especially with the
Exhibits are back.
exhibits being down right now, it is nice to spend a little bit more time, watching you guys do your jam. So it's always fun.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
that whole group that died, they were all extraordinarily prominent climbers. I mean, he was the most notable because of the documentary and all that shit, maybe.
Yeah, but in the climate community, those people were all known.
So I read that last night. I didn't say anything to Colin because I wanted to worry. But we stay in touch with our cousins, and
That's wild that they were right there.
yeah, no, like if had they not turned around, they would be with them. Yeah.
Suffocated to death. Maybe Mount Rainier, but how hard is that?
People die up there every year too. Not as many.
Hi. How are you guys? Have you guys been here before? Have not. Okay. So we're making these goblets that you see over here. So what he's making now is the foot of the goblet, this part that sits on the table. We made a bunch of these seahorses earlier in the day. They're sitting in this oven over here. And we made a bunch of these bowls, the parts that you drink out of. So now we're going to make a foot, then we're going to stick a seahorse on top, and then a bowl on top. Do you guys have any questions? The folks that are doing the blowing are our Museum of Glass Hot Shop team. In the center is Ben Cobb in the kind of olivey green shirt. He's the head of our glass shop here. It's Jack Spitzer in the white t-shirt and Gabe Feenan in the black shirt. These are all very talented professional glass blowers. The next thing we're going to do is, yes? 2,300 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 1260 Celsius. It's hot. What? Yes, it's not a good summer sport. It's a good winter sport, though. It's real cozy in the winter. We're going to transfer the foot from the rod it was originally formed on to a second steel rod called the punty, P-U-N-T-Y. The punty will hold the goblet from the bottom while we assemble it. Gabe in the black shirt's coming over with a little molten glass. Ben's going to wind it on. And then shape it up. Give it a little twist with the tweezers. Make a little frill. Jack in the white shirt's coming over, and he's going to put a little tiny dab of molten glass on top of the seahorse, followed by Gabe with the bowl. That little molten bit of glass will act as a sort of glue and hold the bowl on. Everything that we make here has to be cooled slowly or it'll break. So we're going to take it off the metal rod. We're going to place it in an oven called the annealer, where it'll be cooled very slowly overnight. A little tap on the pipe should release it. And over to our annealing oven, where it'll be cooled very slowly overnight.